He said I was his angel, that he wanted to build a life with me. And for a while, I believed him, until I lost everything, my money, my identity. But I never expected to be the reason the FBI put him in handcuffs. My name is Megan Caldwell. I'm 36 years old, and I never thought I'd be telling this story. I used to believe I was smarter than this, too careful, too aware. But loneliness has a way of dulling your instincts. It started on a Tuesday night. I had just posted a photo on Instagram from a solo hiking trip in Sedona. It wasn't anything special, just me, the mountains, and a caption about finally feeling free again. I had been divorced for 2 years, still healing, still carrying scars I didn't talk about. That night I got a message. "Beautiful view," it said. Then, "But not as beautiful as the woman in the picture." I rolled my eyes. Classic line. But I clicked on the profile. His name was Daniel Walsh. His photos were ordinary, in a good way. Camping with friends, playing guitar, a dog in the background. He didn't look like a scammer. He looked like someone I might actually know. The next morning, he messaged again. "I hope I didn't cross a line, just wanted to say hello," I replied. From there, everything escalated quickly. In a matter of days, we were talking constantly. He told me he was a travel photographer, originally from Seattle, now based in Toronto. He was working on a book about undiscovered places and sent me pictures from Italy, Nepal, Argentina. He called me his calm. He said talking to me felt like coming home. And I wanted to believe that. Because for the first time in years, I wasn't waking up to silence. 3 weeks in, we were talking every night. Long calls, voice notes, messages that felt like poetry. He remembered everything I told him. My favorite childhood book, my dad's old pickup truck. He even remembered the exact date of my divorce hearing. He started calling me Angel, said I made him feel alive again. I didn't know I was being studied, that every word I said was being stored, mapped, used. Then came the request. He told me his bank was freezing his card because he was making international purchases. He sounded frustrated, embarrassed. "I just need a short-term favor, a flight home. I'll pay you back the second I land." I transferred $2,200. He thanked me, said he was at the airport, sent a photo near the gate. "I'm coming home," he said. "I can't wait to finally see your eyes in person." But the next day, another problem. Immigration flagged his passport. He said they accused him of falsifying documents. His voice shook on the call. I could hear airport noise in the background. "I just need to make a payment to clear this. It's refundable. I swear. Please, Megan. You're the only one I trust." I wired $3,000 more. The next photo he sent was of him in line, luggage in hand. He looked tired, relieved. "It's over," he wrote. "I'll be there tomorrow." That was the last message I ever received. The next morning, his number didn't work. His Instagram? Gone. Emails bounced. Panic. I tried every account. Nothing. I rushed to my bank app. Every account. Zero balance. Retirement. Savings. Emergency funds. Even my cloud backups were corrupted. Then came the worst moment. I tried logging into my email. Access denied. Security questions reset. I wasn't locked out of my accounts. I was locked out of myself. I called the police. I couldn't stop shaking. Detective Sarah Larkin took my statement. She listened carefully, then said something that made my stomach turn. "Megan, this isn't just a scam. You've been completely compromised. This is a full identity takeover." The weeks that followed were chaos. Bank fraud departments, cybersecurity consultants, lawyers, all of them trying to put the pieces of me back together. Detective Larkin stayed with the case. She suspected this man, Daniel Walsh, was just a face, an alias, part of a larger operation. Then the break came. The FBI got involved. They found matching metadata in a scam database. Daniel Walsh equals Pavel Morozov. Russian cybercriminal. Known for romance scams and identity wipes, he used deepfake photos and burner numbers. But what they discovered next shocked even the agents. Pavel was already in the United States, under another alias, David Klein, and he was in my city. They needed my help. I sent him one final message to a monitored email. I know who you are, you don't scare me anymore. One last conversation. He responded within hours. You're bolder than I thought, fine. One last coffee for old time's sake. The FBI wired me. The meeting was set in a public cafe. I wore the necklace he said he loved, the final touch of his illusion. He walked in, older, thinner, cold eyes. But still, him. He sat across from me like we were lovers reuniting. No hard feelings? He asked, smiling. I didn't reply. The agents moved in fast. Handcuffs, silence, people staring. It was over. They recovered several hard drives. Inside, thousands of profiles, stolen logins, emails, photos, notes. My name had its own folder. Every message, every voice note, passwords, even call transcripts. He had built a version of me and stolen it. Pavel, aka David Klein, was sentenced to 40 years. Some of my money was recovered, most wasn't. But I rebuilt my identity, slowly, carefully. And now I speak publicly about online safety, romance scams, deepfakes, emotional manipulation, because sometimes the person who says I love you doesn't want your heart. They want everything. Part 2. The fallout. The days after his arrest felt unreal. I watched him get dragged away in handcuffs. I thought it would bring closure, relief. But instead, there was just this crushing silence. News spread fast. Local media ran headlines like, Woman helps FBI take down global romance scam ring. Victim turns the tables on cyber scammer. It wasn't fame, it was exposure. My inbox was flooded. Some people called me brave, others mocked me. A few told me I deserved it for being so naive. That was the hardest part. Not the money, not even the identity theft. The shame. People didn't see the manipulation, the months of carefully engineered trust. The way every word, every emotion was designed to make me feel chosen. They saw only the surface. Woman meets man online. Man vanishes with everything. But no one knew what it felt like to be erased. I started therapy with a specialist in digital trauma. She said something I'll never forget. What happened to you wasn't just fraud, it was emotional captivity. And she was right. They isolate you. They make you feel like they're the only person who understands you. Then they gut your soul and disappear. I wasn't just grieving a scam. I was grieving the loss of who I thought I was. And then something unexpected happened. I was invited to speak at a cybersecurity conference. I almost said no. But then I remembered, if I don't speak, someone else might fall for the next Daniel Walsh. So I stood on stage, in front of FBI agents, cybersecurity firms, reporters, even victims. And I told my story. For the first time, I didn't cry. The room was dead silent. After the talk, a girl, barely 23, walked up to me. Tears in her eyes. She held out her phone, showed me screenshots, same wording, same tone, different name, same scam. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just a personal nightmare, it was a global machine. And I wasn't the only target, I was one of thousands. So I joined a group of former victims, ethical hackers, and investigators. We track romance scams in real time. We expose fake profiles. We trace digital footprints. We help others recover what they've lost, or prevent them from losing it in the first place. We're not superheroes, but we fight back. Because deep down, we all remember that moment. When someone said, I love you, and meant, I own you. Weeks later, I got a package. No return address. Inside was a printed photo. Pavel, in handcuffs, staring straight into the camera. On the back, a handwritten message. Clever move, but we always adapt. It chilled me. The FBI said it was likely from someone still in the ring, a warning, or a threat. But I didn't feel fear. Not this time. I felt purpose. Because now, I had a new mission. Since then, I've helped uncover fake dating apps, deepfake farms, data laundering hubs disguised as consulting firms. I've testified in court. I've counseled victims who thought about taking their own lives. And every time I tell my story, I see the same look in their eyes: shock, recognition, shame. But I always say the same thing: you didn't fall in love with a person, you fell into a trap. One night, I was working late when I got a ping. A private server flagged a new fake profile, using my old photos. Someone was trying to scam others, pretending to be me. That's when I truly realized how far this goes. They don't just steal love, they recycle pain. So if you're watching this, maybe you're already in it. Maybe you've met someone who's too perfect, too fast, too available. Check the photos, reverse search the videos, listen to your gut. And if your gut is silent, call someone who knows you. Because when someone says, "I love you" too fast, ask yourself, do they want your heart or do they want your access? To be continued.